Shalom, this is Ashar Bayan Shrala out of Lionsden Camp, located here just for Florida. First and foremost, I'd like to praise, honor, and glory to the Father and the Son in the proper true Hebrew tongue, the Paleo Hebrew tongue. All right. Kal, Allah, Amla, Yahweh, Ba'Shem, Shai, Ba'Shem, Harakah, Kodash, Ma'amoth. Also, double honor to the elders, Apostle GMS, the Monster Arp, Apostle as well, Ahar One by Shrala, peace, blessing, 1/3, and salutations to the foot elect. And there's gonna be spirit. I say spirituation, man. Well, it could be a lesson, but it's going on. Yahushua being the firstborn of every creature. You know, what the Lord be even before time knew that Yahushua that this was going to end up. That this was going to end up how it is right now. You know that ultimately Yahushua would die for us, regeneration that we would be back here on earth, being all these kingdoms that were once destroyed and now combined to one, and ultimately giving his children the Israel the kingdom, you know. And then of course first the 1/3 and hopeful elect Arizona part of that number, but then of course the whole nation, you know, through childbearing, you know, and through like later throughout the kingdom. Nonetheless, I'm just gonna get a few scriptures going in on that. Just going in on Yahweh. All right, this is Colossians chapter 1. I'm starting at verse 11. Well, I can start at verse 12. It says, "Giving thanks unto the Father, which hath made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light." All right, it says, "Who have delivered us from the power of darkness, and have translated us unto the kingdom of his dear Son, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins, who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature." All right. So who is that, man? It's not even a question. You know, it's Yahushua. It's the one that was first, you know, angel. You know, uh, um, a strong spirit. You know, but angel ultimately. But now he's sitting on the right hand side of the Father, Yahushua, in his heavenly body. All right. It says, verse 16, "For by him were all things created." It's like it says that are in heaven, that are in earth, visible or invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created him by him and for him, and he's before all things, and by him all things consist. All right. Ultimately, the Lord, the Lord, it's like the Lord created Yahushua. You know, he was one of the first creatures ever formed, man. He and through the power of Yahweh by Shemashah was the earth was the earth made, you know. And then you got that, and then you got Adam, naming all naming everything basically, you know, which is Yahweh Shai. All right. All right, this is John chapter 1. I'll start from top. It says, "In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. The same was in the beginning with God. All things were made by him, and without him was not anything made. Anything made that was made." All right, so comment. This is a simple scripture going into Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. All right, Yahweh allowed Yahweh made Yahweh Shai first, one of the first creatures ever made. He made the earth and everything else for him and his brothers and sisters. You know, he made it for him basically him and Israel. All right. Um, Nonetheless, that's why everything was made, because through the power of Yahweh Ba'Shem Shai. You know, And of course, now we're in now. We're literally in the future. We are in biblical times. We're in the Book of Revelations. You know, we're going into World War Three. All right, and now it's the time for true worshipers come. You know, that's how they're paraphrasing. And so it's sincerity and truth. All right. Nonetheless, that's where how Yahweh Shah comes in, being that main focal point, because he coming back for his the hopeful elect. Y'all on part of that number in the 1/3. All right, and he's gonna be the main deliverer. That's gonna deliver our people. That's gonna deliver Israel, Yasharallah. And it was already predestined for that to happen anyways. He was once again one of the first preachers that ever formed in the likeness of the Most High Yahweh. All right, this is Hebrews chapter 2. I'm going to start at verse. Let's start at verse 6. It says, but one in certain. No, I'll start at verse 7. It says, thou madest him a little lower than the angels. Thou crownest him with glory and honor, and didst set him over the works of thy hands. All right, this is talking about Yahweh Shai being a little lower than an angel. It says, it crowned him with glory and honor. He came on this earth to heal our people. Around from 3 BC to 37 AD. All right. So even as a young man, talking to people like a grown man, like a prophet who truly is a king, um, a man child. All right. Once again, it says, and did set him over the works of thy hands. So come, man, Yahweh Shai came to deliver our people. He had his disciples, so on and so forth. Just like the ranking of the angels, the four archangel, archangels. Just like how the Lord set up this right here. You have Shai disciples, and you got the ones that learned, from disciples, to and now being here, those same people that were taught of the disciples and Yahweh Shai are going to be one of the elect. And that believe on Yahweh Shai are going to be one of the part of the elect in the 1/3. The same spirits are back here on earth through regeneration, through reincarnation. Being back here on the earth in their bodies again, the same spirit. All right. It says, verse 8, thou hast put all things in subjection under his feet. For in that he put all in subjection under him, he left nothing that is not put under him. But now we see not yet all things put under. But now we see not yet all things put under him. But we see Yahweh Shai, who was made a little lower than the angels, for the suffering of death, crowned with glory and honor, that he by the grace of Yahweh should taste death for every man shall come, being the sacrifice. The perfect sacrifice. The only way we can be saved was through that. If not, we would have to keep following laws perfectly. It's like how IOIC wanted, but they'll say that and still have a takeover or something. They'll say that and try to and not Yahweh Shai that and not not debate their cause. There's don't. Well, I say they debate the cause, but they do it wrong, man. You can tell they just off, and as well as the other ABC camps, man, Sakari and GOCC and all the other ones, man. Verse 10 says, For it became him for whom are all things, and by whom all are all things, and bringing many sons into glory to make the captain of their salvation perfect through suffering. All right. So, ultimately going into Yahweh Shai's sacrifice, and of course going into the hopeful elect's sacrifice, giving us up as a spiritual sacrifice, a day in and day out, hopefully to be crowned the elect, or the part of the being part of the congregation. All right. So it's a scripture. I ain't gonna get it, but it's saying they'll. I think I already read it. I know. But casting our crowns to Yahweh. You know, when all the elect is saved, you know, ultimately we'll cast our, as soon as we get him, we'll give him back to Yahweh because he deserves everything. You know, he was made before the earth. He him through Yahweh Basman created the earth and it named everything in it and knew everything that was going to happen. You know, the Lord knew to make him that, and shoot, the Lord knew the Most High Yahweh knew everything was going to happen like that. Yahweh Shai knew what he needed to be done. He knew he was going to be betrayed. He went through it. He went through with it because of Israel, because that was the Father's will, because the Father wanted Israel to be saved. All right. So everything is working out perfectly. It's a whole intricate plan, an intricate and beautiful plan that's working out perfectly. And now we're at the beginning of the end of that, and we still got to keep moving towards the end so we can reach that salvation, so that plan can be fulfilled, and that right and that prophecy can be fulfilled, which is always going to be fulfilled anyway, with you or without you. But you should want to be a part of that wagon, because I sure do. Yeah, that's all. But Lord has edifying love, spiritual hydration, and Yahweh being the firstborn of a creature. All right. Now with that, I say shalom.